friends, hello and welcome back. Everyone is having a lovely day. So we have built an NHL bracket featuring all the teams minus one, all the teams in the past year that have had head coaching changes, whether they found a replacement, whether they don't have a replacement. Said, hey, what happened? We created a league, created a little miniature tournament, if you will, of every team in the league firing their coaches, walking them out. It's crazy. It still blows my mind. Over half the league lost their coach over the last season or changed their coach. It's such a sport, a lot of sports like it now where it's such a quick turnover where results are expected ever so quickly. I mean, you look, Anaheim, gone, Buffalo, gone, Calgary, gone, Columbus, gone, LA, gone, Minnesota, gone, Nashville, gone, Devils, Sheldon, Keefe, Islanders, Patrick Waugh, Laviolette over there in New York, Ottawa. I mean, even both New Yorks changing coaches, kind of surprising in that, but Rangers made the right decision clearly there. Sheldon Keefe gone, berube gonna be a big pickup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Washington, Winnipeg, coach retired. And we look at all of these teams and say, which one is going to benefit the most from having a new coach? Which one, maybe on paper, that might be what we learned here today. Which one on paper was the best, and their coach just wasn't getting the best and the most out of their players? I mean, I look at it and say, obviously the Rangers are going to stick out because they're still in the playoffs. And they made the coaching change mid-season. Toronto's going to be a really interesting one. What's Keefe going to do for the Devils? Did Toronto pull the trigger on something too early because they couldn't have playoff success? Or was there something real behind that? Columbus going to get a new coach. That was an ugly season. Hopefully they get another new coach. We're here. New GM talk. Potentially bringing in a new face there. I think the Blue Jackets need one desperately over there. San Jose, Minnesota be an interesting one. Nashville. Kings, we should say there. Did we not put Edmonton on there? Edmonton. I'm trying to think. Edmonton. I don't know why I don't have Edmonton on there. Oh well. Should we throw them one? I feel like they should make the list. Who do we replace? We put the list together now. Sorry, Edmonton, you're gonna miss it as well. So many coaching changes. You can't even build a 16-team playoff bracket over the past season, which is kind of nuts. Nonetheless, we got to figure it out. We got to see which one of these teams, puts together the best playoff run if they all get to face each other. Anaheim and Calgary, I mean, is that a dream matchup for Calgary in the playoffs? Could you imagine this? Every team changed their head coach, and every one of those teams made playoffs. The ones that did not change their coach didn't. Now, again, it's not possible because so many teams change their coaches, but when you see how many teams change their coaches, at least half. I mean, just looking this year. The Island, the Rangers, the Oilers, teams that made the playoffs, firing their coaches in the middle of the season. Who else in the middle of the season? Was it? I don't think the Islanders in the middle of the season, was it? I can't think of it. There's so many of them I can't keep up. The Blue Jackets definitely didn't make it mid-season. Did they even, if you want to count that mid-season? Islanders trying to jump out to the series lead against the Rangers early, 2-0 apparently. The idea of another new coach, not something the Rangers were looking forward to having here. But hey, we don't know what the coaching staff can do. There's not much of a coach effect in the game of the NHL when it comes to NHL 24. But hey, look at the Minnesota Wild jumping out of that 3-0 series lead. They said, what a draw. The San Jose Sharks, I don't care who their coach is, we're going to steamroll them. Anaheim, on the other hand, said, hey, new coach, new face, different place. How about a 4-0 broom job potential over here in Anaheim? I mean, there it is. Calgary sit on down, gone in 4 games. What happened in Calgary? Toronto still dominating. No, I didn't want to play the game. Toronto getting out of the first round, though. It's all it took. Is that going to count the game? No, it could have if it won. I ain't too concerned about it. Toronto's going to sweep the Washington Capitals. Washington there was fighting for a playoff spot there for a bit as well. Islanders are going to concede a game to the Rangers finally. The Rangers are going to battle back into this one, and they are. The series is tied 2 apiece. Devils on the verge of getting swept by the Buffalo Sabres. They're going to be looking for another coach real quickly if that happens. See you later, Sheldon Keefe. That might be the problem. What do we got here? Predators, Kings 3-2. Leaf series over. Minnesota series over. Seattle series coming to a close. The New York series, Battle of New York's kind of becoming a close one. Islanders on the verge of blowing a 2-0 series lead, but it was, what do you expect with just how good that New York Rangers team is? Nashville's going to beat the Kings. Kings still looking for answers. Rangers they're gonna close the series out. No, Islanders gonna bounce back. Chance for the first round bounce for one of these teams. Buffalo is gonna beat the New Jersey Devils. Devils gone in round number 1. Rangers going to win Game 7, one of the only Game 7s in the first round. Anaheim is scalding hot, but are we going to see that affect them? A long resting period when games are going 7, and it was done in 4. Ottawa versus Buffalo. But what a playoff series in the second round. Ottawa versus Buffalo. The Rangers Leafs are like, what's happening here? How did we end up against each other? Meanwhile, these two teams, you never know how the bracket's going to come together, though. Buffalo jumps at 2-0 series lead. You got to be licking your chops though if you're Toronto and New York, right? Seattle, Minnesota, 2-0 there for the Kraken. Kraken started out good. And I think that's one of those coaching changes. A lot of people didn't like the Seattle coach. You say, hey, was it the coaching problem? But at the same time, it's tough to inherit an expansion team. I mean, I think we got spoiled with happening with the Vegas Golden Knights, but it can be really difficult to get things figured out with teams like that. And you wonder if there'll be any success outside of Seattle for him. Buffalo's going to sweep the Ottawa Senators. Kraken swept the Minnesota Wild. Other games, a little more intriguing. Going to game number 6. Can they close it out? No, they're going to go to game 7 in Nashville. How about the Rangers? They're going to close the door on the Toronto Maple Leafs. New coach, still not getting to the conference finals, it appears. Rangers, Sabres, Predators, Kraken in the conference finals. Sabres are hot. Kraken are hot. There come the New York Rangers. Somebody tying up a series there. Nashville gonna bounce back 2-1 series. Rangers doing what the Rangers have done so far in this postseason. You know, slow starters in a series, and then they start taking off. Rangers gonna win this one. They're up 3-1 in the series. All of a sudden pulling away, kind of dominant what we was expecting here. Buffalo bouncing back, gonna force a game 6. Seattle says, forget about that game 7. Sit down, Nashville. Buffalo bouncing back, game 7. Rangers doing it again. Buffalo looking for the upset, not going to get it. It's going to be Rangers. It's going to be Kraken. Kraken pointing that new coach, and all of a sudden they are looking like a Stanley Cup winning. We're seeing deja vu of the Vegas Golden Knights once again. Maybe Rangers might be pulling out the brooms. 3-0, game 4, and they're just overpowering the Seattle Kraken. Roslovic's already got 2 in the first period. Blue Jacket legend Lafreniere coming together. Panarin getting the scoring going. Matty Beniers trying to build off of his previous season. Now second season. It's 2 seasons we should say. Rangers going to get another goal, an insurance goal. Seattle just, again, Rangers just too good. And we're seeing it. There was so much talent on this team, where if your coach was just not getting it out of it, you had to find a new coach. And you know, we're seeing it right now in the postseason. We're seeing it right now in this sim. Rangers loaded with talent, new coach, different face, different plays. Team dominates. Rangers Stanley Cup champions of the Stanley Cup and new coaching playoffs bowl. Nonetheless, you know what? Let's take a look at some points. Actually, let's look at what has happened with Adam Fox dropping 28 points, leading everybody. Zibanejad at 27, Panarin at 26. Great seasons there. Tage Thompson tried to carry that Buffalo Sabres team. Boy, he's been a talented player lately. Wenberg, Blue Jacket legend. What's he doing up there? I like that. I like seeing that a lot. Nonetheless, that is gonna wrap things up for this video. As always, if y'all enjoyed it, I'd appreciate you consider subscribing and liking. You never have to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.